big hello and welcome to all of our junior volunteers. Thank you so much for volunteering your time to help our young children have a great time on the water this summer. You're making a huge difference. My name's Ali. I'm one of the junior safeguarding officers along with Katie Holt. And as part of our training, we need to do an introduction to safeguarding. So you will have received this email, and once you've watched the video, if you could just reply to that email and let me know you've watched the video, and we can tick it off as part of your formal training. Thanks very much. So the learning outcomes of this video is going to be, we're going to have a good understanding of what safeguarding is and why it's important, and you're going to know the expectations and responsibilities as part of the junior team, and you're going to know how to make a referral and who to contact if you have any concerns. And we're going to understand principles surrounding confidentiality and the sharing of information. So the most important thing with safeguarding is to keep yourself safe. We're going to be covering some emotive subjects, so if you ever want to pause at any point and just step away from the computer, just look after yourself. And if you want to discuss anything further, just my details will be on here and you can always call me. So it's just a quick definition of what is a child. So we do have some older children working with us who are 16, 17, 18, but they are still legally children. We also have adults in the team, people who are over the age of 18, and also in the club we do have some adults who are at risk, whether that's old people or disabled people, lots of people who are vulnerable who need looking after. So why is safeguarding important? We work with lots of vulnerable people, children as well as the older people in the club, and we have a duty of care to protect them from abuse, neglect and harm. We have a whole procedure and policies, and we want to embed safeguarding as really the heart and soul of the club. We want to keep everybody safe on the water and off the water. So why are we doing safeguarding? Because these young children are our responsibility. They might be your children, and you want to make sure that we are really taking good care of them at our club. So we do have an official safeguarding policy. It's in our handbook, and I would hope you could log on and familiarise yourself with all of our procedures and guidance. And here's where you can find it on the club website. So a small part I just have to read out for legal purposes. The Christchurch Sailing Club Safeguarding Children's Policy Statement. It is the policy of Christchurch Sailing Club to safeguard children taking part in its activities from physical, sexual or emotional harm, neglect or bullying. Christchurch Sailing Club will take all reasonable steps to ensure that, through appropriate procedures and training, children participating in Christchurch Sailing Club activities do so in a safe environment. We recognise that the safety, welfare and the needs of the child are paramount, and that all children, whatever their age, disability, race, religion or belief, social status, sex or sexual or gender identity, have a right to protection from discrimination and abuse. So we want to create a safe and welcoming environment, both on and off the water, where they can have fun, the children can develop their confidence and their skills. We recognise that safeguarding children is a responsibility of everyone, so it's not just Val, the Commodore and myself and Katie, it's actually the responsibility of everybody. So you all need to be aware of safeguarding and have it at the heart of the club. We need to review these policies, so we've just had a policy update now. We all got together and decided to change a few bits of the policy, and we review that every year. And as part of our recruitment process, we have to be careful of who we recruit. We vet people, we DBS check all the main people who are involved with the children, and we are going to make sure we treat all the children with respect and celebrate their achievements. And if there are any problems, we respond swiftly and appropriately to all complaints and concerns. So what's it got to do with you? Well, you're part of the team now, and it is your responsibility to safeguard the children as well as ours. So it's understanding what safeguarding is and what to do if somebody makes a disclosure, which can be quite difficult, so this training should help you with that. So what do I need to do? What do you need to do? You know how to recognise abuse and how to respond. Know who the club's safeguarding team members are and how to contact them. Know who the RYA safeguarding team is and how to contact them, and understand that there is always someone to talk to if you have a concern. So there are various types of abuse that an adult or a child might be experiencing. This could be physical abuse, sexual abuse and exploitation, neglect, or emotional and psychological abuse. And the things to be aware of when working with children are bullying, abuse online and by phones, that's social media or over the phone or messaging, child sexual exploitation, grooming, and any additional vulnerabilities. So information sharing is really essential. You know, if something doesn't feel right, then report it. Even if it just seems like something small, something insignificant, it might just be a small piece of the jigsaw that's missing in a bigger picture that just helps us to create, you know, a picture of what's going on with that child. As you can see, the children in this picture, maybe if other people had spoken up when actually they thought something's not right here, who knows where they might have been today. So if something doesn't feel right, do report it, even if it feels insignificant or silly. So how do we go about responding to a safeguarding disclosure? So you're in a position of responsibility where a child might open up to you and they might see you as someone who they can trust, and that is, you know, it's a really nice thing to be, someone that a child can turn to when they need help. But knowing how to respond can be quite difficult. So this is what the next few slides is going to be about. It might be uncomfortable, but it's very important. So if a child or a person comes to you and wants to disclose something, then it's important to actually listen to them. So take the time, take them somewhere where they're safe, listen carefully to what the person's telling you. You can ask things like open questions, like, okay, tell me more about that. Refer back, so what I understand what you told me is. Thank that person for telling you. It might have been really difficult and you might be the first person that they've ever told, so just thank that and reassure them that you will help them. Write it down, make a written factual report as soon as possible and try and remember as much detail as possible, and share your concerns with a member of the safeguarding team or the RYA safeguarding team as soon as possible. Things are important not to do. Don't say, yes, okay, I will keep this a secret. And if they ask you, you know, you're not going to tell anybody, you must say to them, this is important that I do share this and I will be sharing this with another trusted adult. And again, just reassure them that, you know, that they've done the right thing and you know, you're not going to keep any secrets for them. Don't panic, just be calm. Don't overreact or be judgmental or make assumptions or put words in the mouth. Just keep it very open. And just re-go over the facts. So what you're telling me is this, when did that happen? You know, try and get as many facts as possible and discuss the disclosure with people. Don't discuss the disclosure with people who don't need to know. Just come straight to the team and we will help you. So it's important to say that actually, how well do you know these people? People in the team, people in the club, people in your community. They might seem like really nice people, they might seem like they're very genuine, but actually you don't know people. And if things don't feel right for any reason, then do come and tell us. So what happens if you do have a concern? What should you do? Who should you turn to? So in Christchurch Sailing Club, we have a safeguarding team, which is headed up by Val Werentry. She's a safeguarding coordinator and her details are on here. I'm Ali Forbes, one of the junior coordinators, and my number's on here. And we have Katie Holt, who's also a junior coordinator, and you'll see both of us around whenever the juniors are having their events. We also have Sally Ann Wakeford, who's a team member, but she works more with the vulnerable adults as well. And we can all be contacted on the email address safeguarding@christchurchsailingclub.co.uk, or if we're around, you can just talk to us face to face. If you need to contact the RYA safeguarding team, then the details are on this screen. If you want to take a moment and take a picture of this just for your phones, just in case anything ever happens, then go ahead now. So we are safeguarding the children. That is our main priority. However, we also need to safeguard ourselves. You know, children say things about adults sometimes, maybe it's not true. We need to make sure that we protect ourselves as well as the children. So never be unsupervised with our children and young people. If you need to help your child with their wetsuits or go into the bathrooms when young people are changing at any point, you must just grab another adult and say, I'm going into change rooms, please can you come with me? Go in together, never ever be alone with a child in the changing rooms. So avoid using the showers and the changing facilities when the children are present. We have our main facilities, the girls and boys changing rooms, but we also have one around the back, which is also available if you need to change yourself. Please mind your language around the children. You know, we're their role models. They're looking up to us. We need to role model really good behaviour. Obviously, sailing can be a contact sport. If people fall into the water and you need to, pull them out, we are going to do that. But do try and avoid handling them if you can. And if you do say, if you need to pull someone out of the water, just say, I'm going to pull you up by your arms now. And if you're involved in an emergency situation where you have had to handle a child, just let their parents know. Do not take photographs without the children's consent, and don't take your phones into the toilets if you can help it. So how to help create a positive culture and environment within our club. Keep yourself and our young members safe. Always be publicly open when working with young people. In order to keep a young person safe or coach certain techniques, it might be necessary to make the physical contact with the person, always inform them beforehand, ask if they have any objections. In an emergency, the parents should be fully informed. Always comply with the guidance about using changing rooms and toilets and report any breaches. Coaches must place the safety and well-being of the participant above the development of performance. Ensure the compliance with the club's online safety and social media policy. Remember, you are a role model to these young people, so never involve yourself in rough play, physical play, or sexually provocative games. Never allow or engage in inappropriate touching of any kind. Never permit the young people to use unacceptable or explicit language unchallenged. We're trying to create a nice club here. We don't want people using bad language with the younger people. So always challenge that, please. Never make sexually suggestive comments to a young person, even in fun. Never agree to meet the young person on your own outside the context of the normal coaching process. And never do things of a personal nature that a child can do for themselves. If a child needs help with their wetsuit, perhaps look around with their parents for help, or make sure another adult is with you. Never photograph or video children or publish their pictures without their knowledge and consent. And never allow an allegation made by a participant to go unchallenged or unrecorded or not acted upon. So, positions of trust are changed to the law. So, a position of trust is a legal term that refers to certain roles and settings where an adult has regular and direct contact with children, such as teachers, doctors, social workers or care workers. In England, Wales and Northern Ireland, changes to the law made in 2022 extend the definition to include sports coaches, such as yourselves, and faith leaders. It is now against the law for someone in a position of trust to engage in sexual activity with a child in their care, even if that child is over the age of consent, 16 or over. So we were going to do this as a discussion, but this could just be a thinking point. So this is a scenario. Part 1, you're walking across a club car park towards the changing rooms. As you get closer, you notice Colin, a 65-year-old volunteer, coming out of the male changing rooms with his phone in his hand. He does not have a bag and does not appear to have been sailing. What do you think about this situation, and what would your immediate actions be? Let's have a think about this point here. Part 2. You're shocked by what you see, but Colin has disappeared. As you walk into the club room, you notice that Colin is looking at his phone, and as you approach, you can see a naked image of one of the young sailors. What will you do now? So if you can't remember, just refer back to some of the previous slides and always refer these on. Part 3. Going back to part 1 of the scenario, if Colin had been a 35-year-old female coming out of the girls' changing rooms, would your thoughts and subsequent actions have been any different? Remember, you must check your bias when thinking about safeguarding. Not everyone with malicious intent is a male. Remembering the nursery work of Vanessa George. So, just a quick recap. If it doesn't feel right, even if you think it's something small or insignificant, please do pass on these concerns, even if it is just verbally, to myself or Katie or Val. Remain watchful and vigilant. Keeping these children safe is all of our responsibility. But as well as keeping the children safe, make sure you keep yourself safe. Receive, respond and refer, so make sure you always pass these things on. Never promise to keep a secret. And it is now a criminal offence for a person in position of trust to engage in sexual activity with an under 18-year-old. Further signposting. If you want to take these details down for any other support or help that's on offer, then you can take a photo of your phone or refer back to this in the future. And a huge thank you for attending today. It's not in person. I hope this video has been okay. If you could just let me know that you've watched this video and we can take it off as part of your training. If you have any questions, then please ask myself, Katie, Val or the Commodore. The RYA has an online interactive safeguarding course called Safe and Fun, which all of our RYA trained instructors have to take and is available for other people if you're interested. So keep yourself safe and keep others safe, and always be vigilant, always pass on everything that you feel is not appropriate. And I look forward to seeing you on the water or about. Come and say hi. My name's Ali. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.